There's always danger in the mountains. That's part of the mountains. You know, you go into an unpredictable environment where you are not in control of things, and that's part of the deal. Any scenario that includes this continuing for the next 24 hours is bad. But it is what it is. We have zero ways to change it. We have zero resources to make it anything other than what it is. We have to get down. So we get down. You know, we came here for a moderate climbing objective, but it's a big mountain in Alaska, and there's nothing moderate about the conditions that you find. We were snowed in to our high camp for 2 full days, and we had to come down in less than perfect conditions. And you know, I don't like being out and about when it's like that in the mountains, but we're limited by the amount of resources we have, the amount of fuel and food we have, so we have to start moving down.
A challenging time was when we were coming down from our high camp. We had a very short window of good visibility that we were hoping would last a bit longer, but we had to get down because we were running low on fuel, which meant we were running low on water. So we started down, and it just completely whited it out. Winds picked up, snows picked up, ground blizzards picked up, and Melissa basically just felt our way out via braille with a lot of probing. Trusting your friends to get you out if you fall in a crevasse, they're trusting you to get them out if they fall in one. As chaotic as the weather was and the visibility was, it was a strangely peaceful day of just slowly walking down, trying to be aware of what each step felt like. Were you on the edge of a crevasse? Being there, ready for anything to happen.
You know, there aren't many times when I feel like the circumstances are such that I need to put my camera away, and that was definitely a day when it was, you know, camera was away and full attention was being given to the task at hand.
We just have put up our tent at a intermediate camp today after about 8 hours of what I would call wallowing through deep snow and horrible visibility, and maybe one of the most overall challenging days navigating in the mountains that I've ever had. We're calling this crevasse camp because it's right in the middle of a whole bunch of crevasses.
I think there's a crevasse about 6 feet that way and about 6 feet that way.
And like 1 foot that way. I was pretty afraid that I was going to ski right into a crevasse, so we decided to hastily throw up a camp here and crawl into the tent and try to get warm and dry and relax and rest, and we'll make our way the rest of the way back to base camp tomorrow. Hopefully these clouds will rise and we'll actually be able to see around us somewhat tomorrow morning. Took us about 7 hours climbing through much better visibility, but very difficult navigation across some big crevasse fields where all of us were punching in, and eventually we made it up here to our base camp and found our cache and dug everything out and set up our camp just in time for this next storm to come in.
We got lots of snacks to eat, and we're just waiting for a break in the clouds so that our little Ottawa skis can fly out and pick us up.
If we weren't here, we'd be at our homes and we'd be doing the things that we do in our day-to-day lives that consume us and make us lose the connection that we have with places like this and with finding the rewards of being out of your comfort zone.
Last night, finally being here in camp, we were just staying awake all late and laughing about all the various crevasse plunges and different things that had happened. I can't remember very many times where, you know, we didn't get to the summit of a peak that we were trying to climb, but could come down and just feel like probably more elated than any summit I've ever stood on.